everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. I started this video, well, I don't know, probably about 10 minutes ago, and as I was doing this, my alarm went off and bumped out my video. So since I don't know how to edit and go back and piece these things together, we're gonna have to start again. So I'll try to do this part quickly. I had a really crooked envelope, which was great. This one is not quite as crooked, but I'm going to show you how I cut it. And this is, we're going to be doing this, okay, which a lot of people have asked me about. So I just want to show you how I cut this, and then we're going to go back to the one that I cut in the video that, you know, got messed up. Okay, so you can see I'm using a T-square here. I'm just going to push this up so I should be in frame. Okay, I'm level across the bottom, but you can see how the envelope goes up this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to take this T-square, I'm going to put it flat up against the bottom because this looks pretty even to me, and then I'm just going to draw a line, okay, up this side, and that's going to allow me to cut away what's crooked. Okay, another thing that you can do, and let me flip this over, is take something that you know is square, a ready piece of paper, okay? You can line it up across the bottom here like this. All right. Let me see, which side am I on? You can line it up across the bottom. Now I know it's crooked. Oh, there we go. All right. And you can see over here. Let me get that down just a little bit more. But you can see over here that it's a little off, okay? Not by much, but a little bit. It's much more. No, not really much more off on the other side, but it is off somewhat. In this case, it wants to go the other way. Okay, let me get this out of the way. In this case, it wants to go off here. Okay, so you would have to move it in equal with the bottom as best as you can. And I'm just using my fingers to feel. Okay, if you don't have a T-square. And then you can just go ahead and draw your line down this way and make it even, okay? So that's another way. It's a little harder because this is squishy, but if you have a T-square, it's a great way to make this straight. I just cut way in. You can see the difference is not much distance-wise, how much wider than it is here than here. I just cut it way in for simplicity's sake. So I'm gonna go over here off my Tim Holtz mat here, and I'm going to cut away this excess. Okay. Cut that away. All right. And then we're going to come to this side. This one should be relatively straight because you need to open it all the way, so you need to cut this side off too. I know I'm kind of doing this quickly. It's kind of late, and I need to get my going to bed routine on here, so I was trying to just get this done. All right, so you have this now, okay? What I would do, because when I did this, you can see the Prime video, or the Prime video, you can see the Prime logo through this. And you could do it, you could see it a little bit here too, which is why I put the ink, the stamping on it, just to kind of help camouflage it. But you can turn it inside out, and this could be your inside, and this could be your outside. I just want to, I see a little bit of extra plastic hanging off the top here. Not that it matters, because I'm going to be cutting some of this away. So now all you have to do is decide how big you wanted your envelope, okay, or your finished piece. This one happened to come out to be 7.5 by, I'm going to kind of push this up because I have it gusseted up there, just under 7.5, so it's almost square. I cut one already that I was going to use, and quite honestly, it may be a little narrower than what I want. Actually, that's not the one I was going to use. I have something else I was going to use someplace. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Okay. So all you have to do now is decide how big you wanted this envelope. You could have it short, just a little one like this, okay, which I may do. You can have it really tall if you wanted to. You can have it somewhere square in between. I think for this one, let's say, how wide is this? Okay, this is about 8 inches wide. That's pretty wide. So let's go, say, 8 by 8. Okay, we'll just go ahead and make that square-ish. Okay, so 8 by 8, we're going to go right here, mark it at 8. We're going to do the same thing here. I want to keep it where it's going to be folded, and this one's giving me a bit of an issue because I folded it inside out. Okay, and we'll go ahead here and mark this at 8. Then we're just going to, I know I'm doing a lot of flipping up in your face here, but it's kind of long. Okay, I'm going to come over here and just cut this off. Now, originally, on the first one that I did, I really didn't know what I was doing. So I saved the pieces and I used these to make this part, which I also covered with just pea stain paper, but it was a kind of a pain, not necessary. I found, I think, a quicker and better way to do this, and I had lined it with paper, tea stain paper, and tea stain paper on the back. I only used the digital here because I figured, you know, why waste all the digital, you know, or more paper. So it's pretty wide. It can hold a bit, but I came up with something else that I'm going to try. So we're going to go ahead and flip this way, and then we're going to decide how long we want our flat to be. So you can leave a little space. You don't have to. I think we're just going to go ahead, and I'm only eyeballing this. There's about ½ an inch between the top here and the fold here. So I'm going to go, say, I'm going to go like here. Let's just say that. I don't know what that is, but this is the way I do things. So it is about 1 3/4. So I'm going to take off 1 3/4. So I'm going to come over here, do 1 3/4, make my line. Let me get rid of this T-square, guys, because I don't need that now. It's kind of in the way. And then we're just going to cut this off. Now you can round the corners on here. I'll show you how I rounded the corners because your corner rounder punch will not work on this foam. I'm just going to get rid of that. So this is what I did. I took a piece of my double stick tape. I just happen to have it, you know, worn down to a decent size, or I think. Maybe it might be a little too curvy. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that to both sides. Mostly down this way, it looks like I did. So they may not be exact. Actually, why don't we go ahead? We'll try cutting this one out and doing that little, let's lay it over and see what happens kind of thing. So just do that. You can leave them straight. On the one that I'm going to do, we're going to leave it straight. Okay, long on the side and short on the top. So all I'm going to do for this, I'm not going to try to trace it because it's like practically impossible. I'm just going to mark it where the points come, more or less, I think. There we go. And I'm going to take my tape roll back and I'm going to line that back up with the tape roll. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing. I'm just lining it up with the marks I've made, and more or less that should be pretty equal. So that's how I rounded the corners. You can make them smaller, take a small jar lid or something like this and use that and round the corners. Whatever looks good to you. So, and that would essentially be your envelope. okay? So that's how I cut them out. I'm gonna take this and put it to the side, and I'm gonna take the one that I've already cut, which was this one, okay? And I'm gonna leave these sides, I'm sorry, these corners, I'm not gonna cut them, okay? I am gonna cut this, but I'm not gonna cut the corners on this one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this one, with this, I had to wedge in the gussets that I made and just kind of glue them down. Now, I used a combination of glue and double stick tape, okay, like all over it, because I didn't know how well it was going to hold. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, and I think we all have this. This is that packing paper that comes in your Amazon, okay? Your Amazon boxes, or does sometimes. I'm trying to find the middle of it here, okay? And I just fold it back and forth like that, and I store it that way. So what I did was I cut a piece down, okay? Just cut a piece off, and all you're gonna do here is just glue it. Now, because this one is really long compared to that one, you would just do it in 2 pieces, okay? So you're gonna glue one side, and then you'll take another side, put the flap over, you'll glue it or tape it like that, and then do the other piece, okay? Inside and out, all right? I'm not gonna do, get into that. You can do it with digitals, you can do it with paper like this, you can do it with wrapping paper, which is even bigger, and allows you more space so you wouldn't have to piece it. So whatever you would think, you can cover it like that. So I did this one, and this one was considerably smaller. This, and I know you really can't see this. You try to put something behind it a little bit. This was smaller, and this happened to fit on that piece of paper. So I took a piece of paper, I glued it all down. I didn't use any tape on this one. I glued it all down, and then I went and trimmed off the edges. That's all I did. Just took the scissors. Actually, I think I took the, I see something overlapping here. Well, not overlapping, but I took the knife and the ruler, and I cut it. But I just put glue, just my 3-in-1, just kind of smeared it all in the middle here and stayed away from the edges. And then I took it to my sewing machine and I stitched around it, okay? It isn't the best stitching. I was doing it in a hurry, but I stitched around it, okay? I glued the paper front and back, glued one, trimmed it, glued the other, trimmed it, and then took it to my sewing machine and sewed it, okay? So now what we're gonna do is I decided I'm not gonna do those gussets. What I'm going to do is envelopes, okay? And I know this is hard to see, this is all brown. But that's what I'm gonna do. So I already, I'm gonna do it with this one. You have to, this is what I'm gonna do. Now, I've never done this before. I've seen people do it, but I've never done it before. This is my first time doing this, but I think this would be a whole lot easier than doing what I did on the other one. And I think it gives you more storage, and I think it would be less bulky. I think it would open wider. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So you glue the flap down, and then you cut the top edge. I'm gonna get rid of this one too, because I don't need this big one anymore. Put that away. Somewhere I have my little guy. I don't see my little one, so we'll use this one. And I'm just gonna trim just a hair off the top of this envelope. Really got to change my blade. I think I'll be doing that before my next video. Okay, come on. One little piece, there it is. Just a sliver. And now the envelope opens up, okay? So I already did that with this, and I took 7, I have 7 envelopes. So what I'm going to do is put another piece of tape on the parts where you're going to glue it to the cover. You need a piece of tape on both sides of the envelope, but otherwise You just need a piece of tape in the middle of one side, okay? So I have, well, actually that's not true. I have tape there on the one side, I have tape here, and then this is going to tape to the next envelope and the next envelope. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that, okay? Hopefully these are all facing up in the right direction. This one isn't. I can see that. Make sure your envelopes are all facing with the pockets open. Ha. Okay. That one. You can see what I've done here. I've turned them upside down. So I have that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start gluing them or taping them together. I think this would go a whole lot quicker. So we're going to take one. Okay. And then we're going to put another one on top of it. Hopefully I've got this going right. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to line them up this way, because once this tape sticks, it is stuck. Okay. So we have that one. Let's go ahead with this one. Put that one on. Okay. Take this tape off and put the next one on. Okay. That tape, backing, cover, whatever. Put this one on. So this one, I think you could still get like, you know, your normal like 3x6 tags, because I think that's kind of a standard size, but you can use it for small ephemera as well. You know, little journal cards or whatever. You could use it for fussy cuts, you know, whatever it is you think. So we'll do that. All right, and then we're going to do this one. Okay, I'm going to put that one there. May not be perfectly even, but I'm pretty darn close. All right, and we will need a piece of tape on this side. And you could, and I may, tape it completely down. You know what I'm saying? You can put more tape so it will be taped against the front here. All right, instead of just going like that. But I think I prefer it that way, actually, now I look at it. So that's going to be in the middle. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to put that in, and then we're going to do just a little bit of decorating. And this one, I'm not gusseting the bottom. I'm just, oh, let me bring it where you can see me, what I'm doing. I'm trying to get it centered in here. Hopefully I'm okay. Then I'm going to take this tape backing off. I'm going to bring the back up and over. And what I'm going to do, all this is going to stay, I'm just going to decorate the front. The back is just going to stay like that, okay? I've already gone and cut out what I'm going to put on the front of this one. These are from, don't tell me, I'll get it. Sweet Pea Curiosities, I think it's called. I think. I can't recall. But that's what this one, these are from. And I had cut this out. They look sort of like these. Well, this, something like this, okay? Absolutely stunning papers. Just stunning. There's more than this. And this is the one I was using. But because the birds crossed over into the same area, and this bird wouldn't fit on the flap, I just took it and shrunk it down, because these are JPEGs. So I just shrunk this down so I can make that bird smaller. However, it still took the top of this bird's head to be in the picture, if you can see what I mean. So I just cut out a piece of this foliage that was here, I think, and just stuck it over where the bird was. So you don't see the bird head sitting there. But anyway, so that is what I did. Let me get rid of all of these little guys. All right. And I'm just going to use the regular 3-in-1. You can use tape if you're, wanting to. I personally wouldn't use glue stick. I don't think glue stick would stay. Like I said before, I don't have the best of luck with the glue sticks, no matter what they are. And, oh, I think that's just a piece of glue. Okay. But because this is so flexible, I'm not so sure it would stay holding. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on. You can leave this plain, just the way it is. You can stamp on it, which I would recommend you doing before you put it together, because it's too smushy, and I don't think your stamps will come out too well. You can just add fussy cuts. You can collage on it however you would want, or you can do it this way. To me, something like this is quicker. Just putting this together tonight is even quicker than what I did the other night, because of how I was, well, one, trying to figure it out as I went, and two, I'm going to bring this just a smidge higher. Like, my sewing is just so straight. I'm just going to bring that a little higher. I want to try to make it a little more even. So I'm going to bring it down some on this side. That's better. Okay. It's a little off, but I'm not. Like I said before, it's for me. It's not going anywhere. I'll use it to store something. I'm just trying to smidgy it over a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. So that's on there like that. Now here's the top piece, and I rounded with my corner rounder. They don't match this perfectly, but it matches well enough, like I said. It's not going anywhere. It's staying with me. So, but I mean, you could even make a small journal and put it inside, something that matches it, using the similar papers. To cover it again, you can use just directional paper. Like I said, you can just use wrapping paper and just leave it at that. Something pretty and floral, some wrapping paper or something. And then you wouldn't have to put anything on. Or you could put a few fussy cuts on, depending on what kind of wrapping paper it is, etc., etc. So I'm just going to use my fingers to get that up. And I'm going to bring this over here. I want to make sure that I stay away from the fold for the top, but I want to make sure I'm straight-ish. I'm not so sure that I cut it all very straight. So I'm just going to smush that down. Okay. And then that goes like that. Then what I did to label it so that you can write on it, what's in there, what you're keeping in there. These came from My Porch Prints, and you just have to decide which one you think you would want. I think I'm going for this oval one on this one. So let's just cut that one out real quick. Quick as a bunny, as my mother would say. Gotta be quick as a bunny. So let's go ahead and get that out. Of course, I had to pick the one that you got to go around the curves, right? It takes me a minute or two more, let's say. Okay. I'll put a little, ink the edges a little bit once I get this cut out. And, you can put a label on it, off of your computer. You can handwrite in it. You can use pen. You might want to use pencil, because if you think that you ever may use it for something different, put a different something in it, you can always erase and do that. So now I'm seeing, as I'm doing this, I'm seeing that I pulled that down a little further and it's covering that this bird's head. So I want to make sure that I am good and glued here. So I'm going to come back here. I want to make sure I have a lot of glue under this edge because I'm about to roll it back. Okay. Make sure that's good and glued. And I'm just going to roll it back just the tiniest bit. I know you can't see me working here, but I'm trying to kind of excuse me, refold the top here somewhat so that we don't cover that bird's head so much. And since I've got this glue to hand, where do I think I want to put this? I think I kind of like it right in the middle. I could put it up here, but I think I like it here. So that's good. Of course, I'm probably going to put ribbon there. So it might not be a good idea if you're trying to read what's in it, right? So I may move it over to the side. So let's just put a little glue on that, and I will move it up here. Try to make sure that that's somewhat straight. Okay. And then all I'm going to do to close this one is, let's see. Trying to see what this one would work. Oh, you know what I have? I just got to dig it out, guys. Give me a second here. Here we go. It was forever opening new ones of these because I can never seem to find the ones that I have opened. But this, I think, will work nicely. I was trying to find something that was the same on both edges. Well, this wasn't. So that was a poor choice, but it will do. And then just going to go like so. And I'll tie this off like so. Okay, try not to, I always twist these. I'm terrible at bows. Terrible. I always get it twisted. So I'm trying to untwist it and not let this go. It's not working. Okay. All right, let's try that way. That might be better. Actually, that's not too bad. Okay. So we have that. I think that looks good. Find a pair of scissors. Just make that a smidge shorter. Okay. So there you have that one. So that is how I cut the envelopes. Basically how they can be covered. I got a glue down here too. I should have, well, I did ink this, so that's not bad. It's just like I said, oh, see, here's half my problem. You can stamp, like I said, you can stamp on it. You can do whatever it is you would want. You know, I attached this one with an eyelet. This one I just left loose. So you open it up like that, and you have all of that space. Much better than my original gussets. So plenty of room. So that is it, guys. I'm going to retie this before I say goodnight. And I'm not doing a good job on retying it, but that's okay. Let's retie this one if I can. And that will be this video. So I hope it was helpful. I know I went through it really quickly, but I think more or less I think it was, you know, pretty simple. It can go together very simply. Just a matter of getting your funky wonky envelope square and then choosing whatever kind of paper you want to cover it with. Like I said, I use the 3-in-1, and I also use tape like this, the double-sided, the score tape, or some people have what they call red tape. It's got a plastic like red backing. And you just kind of cut things to fit. You can sew it or not sew it. This was completely glued. This I sewed some, not all. Yeah, just whatever it is you think you would like. Whatever size it comes out to be. So that's it for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's going to be helpful for you and you'll have fun making some of these things, because especially if you use the brown paper, that was really a lot of recycling there, and or upcycling, I guess they call it these days. So that's it for tonight, guys. So my friends, be safe, be happy, be blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.